So, hello everyone, and welcome back to our Python programming course. So, mhm, yeah, congratulations. You have now completed one of the most important chapters in Python, which is the loops. So, what we learned? We have learned the for loop. Let's me list them. What we have learned? We have learned for loop. Then we have learned while loop. I have learned about nested loops, break statement, and also about the continue and pass. Okay, so we have learned all this. So today we are starting another extremely important topics, which is the strings. Okay, strings. So almost every application you use works with strings. So your name is a string, your email is a string, your password is a string. Instagram usernames, YouTube comments, WhatsApp messages, Google searches. All of them that I have listed are all strings. If you understand strings well, you will be able to build login systems, search features, chat applications, and much more. So let's begin with what is a string. Okay, so what is a string? So if we take an in variable and store a name in it as others my name. So what do you think this is? This is a string. The the name which I have written in the inverted commas, double inverted commas, is a string. So what string basically is? A string is simply a sequence of characters. So what does these characters include? What are included in this characters? So characters includes letters, numbers, spaces, and symbols. Okay, so everything written inside quotes becomes a string. So let me give you some examples. So if you take city, Delhi, so this is a string. If we write college, help you. So this is also a string. Okay. So if we write numbers also in inverted commas, then it will be considered as a string only. Anything alphanumeric is also a string if we write it in inverted commas. Okay, so let me show it to you with the help of my online compiler. So I will print some message. It will be printed as strings only. Okay. Yeah, sorry, if I take this as input, city name equals to what's Jalandhar, college. If I print this, Okay. College. So if I print this, then it will be printed as string only. So let me help you understand it to you with the help of a real life analogy. So imagine a train. Every coach represents one character. Let's say let me write it here. Sorry, I will write it in here only. So let's say this every coach represents one character. So P, Y, D, H. Say we have this Python may like this we have written, but it is in the shape of a train. So these are each character represents, let's say each coach, every coach represent one character. Okay. So together they form one train. Similarly, multiple characters together form a string. Now we will be talking about the types of codes that we use in string. Okay, so the first we use it in double quotations. So we have written hello in double quotations and in single quotation too. So both work for Python. Okay, we can use them both. Python allows strings using both of them. Both are valid. Okay, so let me show you an example to you. Sorry, this is a online compiler. Okay, so first I will print this using single quotes. Print a Python. Okay, and then again I will print something. Let's say using double quotes. Print program. Ramming. Okay. So after running, we can see that both of them works. Okay. So whichever makes your code easier to read, you can use that. Why are there two types? Okay, so you must have this question in your mind that why do we have two types? So suppose your sentence contains an apostrophe. Okay, so what will happen if you print there, let's say single quotes, and then you print I am learning. Hmm, Sorry, I am learning Python. So again, you close it. So Python thinks that this string ends after I only because you have used two single quotations. So it thinks that it has ended after I. Correct? But you cannot use it like this. You need to use a double quotes here. Then only you can access the whole as string. Okay, or you can also do one thing is that you can escape this apostrophe. Like you can add a slash here. This slash, and it will take the whole as an okay. Take the whole as a string. So you can use both approaches. Both will give you the output you are looking for. Okay. So now we will be talking about the string indexing. Okay. Yes. This is where string becomes powerful. Okay, so I've written here characters, PYTH and Python, and their positive and negative index code. So each character is stored in each index. So Python stores every character separately. Every character gets an index and index starts from 0. So positive index starts from 0 and negative index from the last it starts from negative 1. So first let's talk about the positive index. So let's see, P gets 0 index, Y gets the first index, T gets the second index, H3 is O4 and N5 like that. Okay, let me give an example by printing it. We take an input as let's uh, say we take language equals to Python as an input, and then we will print the text 0. What is at index 0? We have P. What is at 0? We have P. Likewise, if we want to print at index 2, then we will get T. What is that second index? It's T. Okay, what is that fifth? If we write 5 here, then we will be getting N. Okay, so imagine an apartment. So flat number starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each flat contains one person. Similarly, each index contains a character. I hope you're clear with the positive index. So let's start with the negative index. So Python also counts backwards. Okay, so I've drawn this in negative index. So it counts from backward as negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last index. Okay. Negative index starts from the end. So I can also explain it to you with the help of this slicing example. What will happen if I take -1 here and run? It is giving me n. What if I change it to -3 and then run? It will give me h. Why is it giving h? Because with -3 I have h. At -6, what will it give? With -6, it will give me p. Okay, I hope you're clear with it. So, imagine you're standing at the last coach of a train. So, the first coach from the back is -1, second is -2, third -3, and exactly like that. So, this is how Python counts. Okay, let me check if it is recording or not. Yes, it is recording. So, we can do an example of a user input. So name equals to input, enter your name, then we will print it, print first letter, then First letter would be at zeroth index, no? And last letter would be at print last letter. Last letter would be at the -1 index. Okay, so if you run this and ask your name, you give my first letter as A and last letter as H. Okay, so this is useful in many applications. Like mm, many websites display welcome, then your first letter, and then dot dot dot. They use string indexing. Okay, so they don't write the full name, they just show a part. So some common beginner mistakes that people do is trying to access an index that doesn't exist. Okay, that gets out of the limit. Okay, we write here like can input as name equals to, let's say everything the name is home. Okay, and then we try to access the index of, let's say home has only two words, so we try to access index of, let's say 4, then it would give us an error. What is it giving us? String index out of range. Okay, Python gives us index error because index of 5 does not, index of 4 does not even exist. Thinking index starts from 1 is also a mistake that people do. Index starts from 0 in Python. Okay, Python starts from 0. Forgetting quotes is also a mistake. So name equals to, if you just write it without the quotes, then it will also be a mistake. So let's make a mini project. Create a username analyzer. We take a username as an input. Username equals to input. Good. Then we print here, let's say first character. Then would be a username. Index would be 0. Okay. So then if we want to print the second, oh, let me just set this string. Or if you want to print the second character, then it would be here username at first position. Then print the third character, the fifth third, uh, last. Then it would print username, and the index would be -1. We can also use a built-in function to print the length Number of digits, now number of characters present using a built-in construct. I'm just showing a glimpse of it to you. We will discuss more about it on the next one. Len of user name. Okay. The len function tells us about the number of characters present. Okay. We will cover it in more details later. If we put in here, we take username and others, that will give us a first letter as A, second letter as A, last letter as H, and the length of my name is 7. So pause the video, write a program that asks the user for their favorite movie and prints the first letter, third letter, and the last letter. You can also play with it accordingly and do whatever you want. Pause it and solve it. So create a program that asks user for name, city, and print the first, last, and full number of characters using len function. Also, okay, so this would help you improve your logical thinking. So, excellent work. Today we learned what strings are, why they are so important, and how Python stores text using indexes. We explored positive and negative indexing, common mistakes, and build a string-based program. In the next session, we will learn string slicing, where you will discover how to extract parts of a string, such as the name from a full name or a domain from an email address. It is one of the most useful string techniques in Python. Until then, practice today's example with different words and names, and I'll see you in next session. Till then, happy coding. Thank you. So, hello everyone, and welcome back to our Python programming course. So, in the previous session, we learned what strings are and how Python stores every character using indexes. We also learned about positive indexing and negative indexing. Today, we are going to learn one of the most useful features of string, which is string slicing. So let me ask you a question. So imagine someone gives you a pizza with, let's say, 8 slices. So do you always eat the whole pizza? No. Sometimes you only take 2 or 3 slices. That's exactly what string slicing does. So instead of taking the entire string, Python allows us to take only the part that we need. Okay, so start with what is string slicing. Okay, so what is string slicing? So if we take an input as language, and writing it here only, not in the compiler, Python. Take it as an input, then suppose we don't want the entire word Python. We only want, let's say, py or th or let's say on, anything. Then we can do that using slicing. So the syntax of slicing is that we take the string, then add the start value from where we want the position of the index, then a colon, and then the stop value. Okay, so the start indicates where to begin, stop indicates where to stop. The start index is included and the stop index is not included. This is one of the most important rules in Python. So imagine books arranged on a shelf. So if I tell you take book from shelf 2 to shelf 5. So you take 2, 3, 4. You stop before 5. Okay. That's exactly how slicing works. So let me show you your first slicing example. Okay. So let me open an online compiler. Right. here. Let me write, take an input here, which is Python. So if I print language, then slice its value from 0 to let's say second and predict the output. What do you think the output will be? If we run, we get py. The Python starts at index 0 and stops just before the second index. So it prints p and y. P is 0, Y is 1 and T is 2. It just stops before T and prints till Y. So what will happen if we change this into 2 and this to let's say 5 and run this, then we will get THO. So at 0, 1, 2. So at second position we have T, at third we have H, at fourth we have O, and fifth we have N. So the fifth position is not included, so we get THO. So if we print from 1 to 4, then it will give us YTH. Okay, so I hope you are clear with it. So Python also let us leave the start or stop empty. What will happen if we leave the start as empty? So output will be pyth. So no starting index. So Python automatically starts from 0. And if what will happen if we give no stop index? What will happen if I write 4 here and give no index here? Then and we will get on. That means no stopping index, mean Python will continue until the end. What happens if we remove both? Then it will print whole, okay, from start to end. The entire string is printed. So let me give you an example. So think of watching a movie. If someone says watch from minute 30 till the end, you don't need an ending timing, right? You simply continue until the movie finishes. That's how string slicing works here. Okay. We also have a step value in slicing, which is like start, then stop, then a colon, and then a step value. So the third value tells Python how many characters to jump. Okay, so let me help you make it clear to you with the help of an example. Oh, okay, let me write here 0 and 6 and then a step value of 2. So when I run it, I get an example PTO. Why PTO? Because Python visits P, then skips Y as it is second, then its first iteration will skip, then second it will continue, then it's 2 T, then it will skip H and then continue with O, then it will skip N, and as there is nothing after N, so it will print PTO. Okay, so I hope you're clear with it. So what will happen if I remove all of this and just write 2 here? So it will print PTO same. It skips the iterations by 1. Okay. What will happen if I don't give any ending value? It will same. It will start from 1 and skips by 2 until the end. So imagine climbing stairs. Normally step 1, 2, 3, 4. Now suppose you jump every second stair, then it will be 1, 3, 5. Exactly why that exactly this is what the step value does. You can also reverse a string. So this is one of the Python's coolest tricks. So you can reverse it by writing 2 columns and the step value will take at -1. To do so, then it will reverse the string. Okay, the students are usually surprised. Okay, so the negative step means it starts from backward. As we have already discussed it in the pricing indexing, that -1 means it will move from the backward. So imagine standing at the last coach of a train. Instead of walking forward, you walk backward through every coach. Okay, that's how Python reverses a string. So let's write some programs using this. So let's take a name as an input. The name is Rahul Sharma. Let's take it as capital R. Okay. Then let me print the name as index. Let's say till the fifth letter. And if we run this, we will get it Rahul as whole. Okay, so let me print something else also. Let's take an email. Email equals, let's say, student @gmail.com. Okay, so let's print email from, let's say, 8th position, and if we run this, then I will get gmail.com. Okay. Many website process email this way only. Okay. You can also mask a phone number by taking as input a phone number. As a string, we take a phone number, anything random, and if we print the phone number as, let's say, from -4, okay, not 4 digits, like, okay, -4, it will go, acha, it will go this way, so -4 to the last 4 digits, 94094. Okay, so banking apps often show only the last 4 digits of your phone number or card number. They use this one. So the common beginner mistakes are thinking that the stop index is included. No, stop index is not included. It is just stopped before the stop index. Confusing index with slicing. Index giving gives one character, whereas slicing gives us multiple characters. Using an invalid step value. Okay, 0 is not used as a step value. This causes an error because the step cannot be 0. Also, you can practice some programs. Pause the video and practice a program that asks the user for full name and prints only the first 3 letters, entire name in reverse, or the last letters. Okay, so these are some programs. Create a program that asks for email address, print the username before at the rate, after at the rate, and also entire email in address. For this homework, you can assume a fixed email format or simply use slicing. Later in this course, I will also teach you flexible ways to split strings according automatically. Okay, fantastic work. Today you have learned one of the most powerful string operations in Python, that is string slicing. We explored how to extract parts of a string, omit start and stop values, use the step parameters, and even reverse an entire string with a single line of code. We also built practical programs like extracting names, displaying email, domain, and masking phone numbers. In the next session, we will learn string methods such as uppercase, lowercase, a lower upper function, lower function, strict function, replace, find function, and many more. These methods are used in almost every Python application and will make working with text much easier. Until then, keep practicing today's example with different strings, and I will see you in the next session. Happy coding! Thank you. So, hello everyone, and welcome back to our Python programming course. So, in the previous session, we learned string slicing, We extracted parts of strings, reversed them, and learned how Python accesses text. But today we are going to learn something even more useful. We are going to learn about string methods. So let me ask you a question. Suppose someone enters their name like, let's say this. Okay, so but you want it to appear like this, okay, in capital, or maybe like this. Or imagine someone accidentally types extra spaces before and after their email. How do we clean it? So we have a solution. Python has built-in functions when called string methods that make these tasks very easy. By the end of today's class, you will know how to manipulate texts like a real programmer. So, what are string methods? What are string methods? So if I write a name as an, if we take a variable name and store Python in it, let's say methods are special functions. Okay, methods are special functions that belongs to string. They perform useful operations like changing cases, removing spaces, finding words, replacing text, counting characters, and also checking conditions. So let me give you an example of a mobile app. So imagine your phone's photo gallery. You can rotate an image, crop it, edit it, apply filters. The photo stays of the same type. You are simply performing operations on it. So the string methods works exactly the same way. So let me help you to understand it with the help of some programs. Okay, let me remove it. So, uh, so let's just let me just uh, remove it. Okay, so we take a name as an input. Name equals to Python, and then we print name dot upper. So this is the method we are using. First uppercase. It changes it to upper. So if I would run it, then it will give me Python whole in uppercase. The original string isn't changed, but just this upper method returns a new uppercase version of the previous string. Okay, so what will happen if I run this? Instead, I will write here city equals to Delhi and write here city dot upper function. So it will give me Delhi in capital letters. So a real life example would be that government forms often require names in capital letters, so the upper method is perfect for this. So you can also write it as, we take an example of an email. So you write, let's say, right, by mistakenly if someone writes in capital gmail.com. Okay, and if I print email dot lower, okay, output would be everything just in small letters, in small case. So useful because it is useful because email addresses are usually treated in lowercase. So many websites automatically convert emails to lowercase before checking them. So let's check a name. Name equals to others Sharma. And actually write print here, print name dot title. If you use this title method, then what it does is that, let's check the output first. So it converts the first letter of my name and the first letter of my surname into uppercase. So the output is Adarsh Sharma, but A and S capital. So every word begins with a capital letter. So names on report card usually appear in title case only. So one more useful method is, if you take name and spaces, if you add spaces in between by mistakes, we can also remove it. So if we print it, but it looks normal, if we print name here and run it, then it looks normal, but there are spaces. Now what if we add a strip method dot strip method here, then this what will happen is that after running we will see the spaces are removed. The strip method removes spaces from beginning and end. So suppose someone accidentally types 1234 as an ATM pin, so and gives an spaces in the first and last. So ATM ignores extra space. Programs often use a strip method for this. Okay, so we will talk about more functions like this, more methods like this, such as if we take message as an input, I like Ja- excuse me, I like Java. If I take an input as this and print message dot replace, then what do we want to replace is, first we write Java, and then we will write what we want to replace with, what we want to replace it with. Okay, Python. So after running it, it will give us an output, I like Python. Another example would be if a message is like, let's say, apple, apple, and apple, and we want to print, it says send message dot replace. We want to replace apple with mango. Apple, comma, then mango. Okay, so on running this code, we will get that mango, mango, mango. So when let me give you an example. So when you press find and replace in Microsoft Word, you are using the exact same idea. So since we have talked about find, then we will also introduce a find method here. So we'll take an input as text equals to Python programming. Okay, and then print text dot find. We want to find what we want to find here. Let's say we want to find the programming part. Programming. So upon running it, we will get the output as 7. Why 7? Because find method returns the starting index of the string which we are finding. So p stored in 0, y in 1, t in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be the space, and 7th is the p of the program. So it returns 7. Okay. So what will happen if we write here print text dot find and find something that is not present only. What if we find Java here? So it will give us -1. -1 will be given as an output. Con -1 will be given as an output. Since it was not found, Python returns -1. Mhm. What found a now I would run this code and it would give us an output 3. So Python counts how many times something appears. So this count function is used to count how many times the searched word appears. So it works the same. Imagine counting how many students are present. It is the same concept. Okay. So now we would learn about starts with and ends with methods. Okay. So let's take an input as website, equals to, 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 website HTTPS dot slash google.com. Okay, now we print, now we print website site dot stats with and add the string that we would want to find in the quotation. Now, after running the code, we will get as true. So, starts with returns us values in true or false. So, same if we check it with check it with ends with .jpg would give us false. Sorry, .com, then it would give us true. So file managers check extensions like the same way .jpg, .png or PDF. So they use the same concept here. Now we will be making a mini project in which username formatter. Okay, then equals to input user name. Now we would use the script function username equals to username dot print comma user name dot upper function. Similarly, we'll print the lower first. We would write here lower comma username dot lower. Now we will print the title Your username as an input. Yes, the other Elma. Okay, then enter. It give us an uppercase, then in lowercase, then your title, and also calculates the length at the end. So now we'll discuss about some common beginner mistakes. So mm, people usually forget to close or they open the parentheses. They just write username dot upper. Okay, they don't give this opening and closing brackets. Also, they forget to write the dot here. So their mistake two is that thinking methods permanently change the string. Strings are immutable. Okay, it just saves changes in another form. So find functions returns an index or an minus one. It doesn't give us uh, results in true or false. Some practice questions could be for you are the entire sentence in uppercase. To print entire sentence in uppercase, in lowercase also slash lowercase. Number of spaces and replace spaces with an underscore. Okay, now excellent work. So today we learned some of the most useful concepts in string methods Python. So including the uppercase, lowercase, title, strip, replace, find, count. These methods are used in login system, search bars, data cleaning, file handling, web applications, and many other real-world projects. In the next session, we will explore more advanced string methods, including split function, join function, is alpha, is numeric, is number, is digit, is alphanumeric, and build practical text processing projects. So keep practicing today's example. Try experimenting with different inputs, and I will see you in next session. Happy coding. Thank you.